Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Wednesday, November 30th, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So in today's video, we'll be going over a recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about the injuries in play for today's slate. I believe it's a 13-game main slate overall, so a pretty large one, so there's going to be a lot of injuries to talk about today. And then going over to DraftKings and FanDuel and talking about my core picks for today. But without further ado, we'll get started with a recap of yesterday's picks. Obviously, it was a small 3-game slate yesterday. On DraftKings, at the point guard position, we had Anthony Simons at $8,100. Looking for 41 points down, we got to 53.5, so he was a really good hit yesterday. Then in shooting guard, we had Terrence Mann. He was $4,800, looking for 24 points out of him. Got to 25.75, so he was a hit as well. At small forward, we had Justice Winslow, who looked like one of the better overall values on yesterday's slate. And he was $4,700. We're looking for 24 points out of him. Got to 31.75, so he was a hit as well. Then at power forward, we had Jeremy Grant, who's been playing very well as of late, $7,300. Looking for 37 points out of him. Got to 48.25, so he was a hit as well. And then last but not least, at the center position, we went with Mitchell Robinson at $4,600, a very good value there overall. Looking for 23 points out of him. Got to 30.25, and he was a hit. Probably would have been an even bigger hit if that game was not a blowout as well. So 5 for 5 on the DraftKings side. If you had some other decent plays, if you got to some Luka Doncic in there, you did very well yesterday. Then on the FanDuel side, we had Anthony Simons once again at point guard, $8,400. Looking for 42 points out, got to 50.4, so he was a hit. At shooting guard, we still had Terrence Mann. He's $5,500 over there, so a little bit more pricey. Looking for 28 points out of him, got to 25.5. So technically he was a miss, but he still wasn't a terrible play by any means on a 3-game slate. Then at small forward, we had Justice Winslow once again, $5,200. Looking for 26 points out, got to 29.6, so he was a hit as well. At power forward, we went with Marcus Morris, $5,500. Looking for 28 points out, only got to 20.3, so he ended up being a miss yesterday. The biggest downfall for him yesterday was only 3 for 13 shooting from the field. If he makes a couple more shots, would have paid off at his price tag overall. Then last but not least, at the center position, we went with Joseph Nurkic at $6,800. Looking for 34 points out, got to 42.5, so he was a hit, and he was actually only 3 assists away from a triple-double, which is obviously something good to do for a center overall, but a solid performance from him once again with no Damian Lillard out there on the court. So 3 out of 5 on the FanDuel side. If you had some Luka Doncic, if you had some other decent plays, you still had a pretty good chance at cashing as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over into the injuries and play for tonight's slate. So once again, it is a 13-game main slate. We are starting right at 7 o'clock Eastern time with 2 games. First off, we have the Philadelphia 76ers, who are without James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, and Jaden Springer. Obviously, they did get Joel Embiid back the last game, so I would assume that he does end up playing once again today. Then for the Cleveland Cavaliers, we have Jared Allen, Kevin Love, Ricky Rubio, and Dylan Windler all out once again. And then Lamar Stevens also listed as questionable at this point in time. I believe he dealt with an illness last time, so there's a pretty good chance that he's back today as well. And then for the Atlanta Hawks, we have Jalen Johnson, who ended up missing on Monday, listed as doubtful, as well as Bogdan Bogdanovic, who is listed as doubtful, which is actually a step up for him in the right direction, but he should be making his return rather soon. For the Orlando Magic, they are without Wendell Carter Jr., Jonathan Isaac, Chuma Okeke, and Jalen Suggs once again. Mo Bamba listed as questionable. He's been dealing with some back injury or back spasms. And then Cole Anthony is expected to make his return to the lineup tonight. For the Miami Heat, we have quite a few injuries. We have Jimmy Butler, Victor Oladipo, and Omar Yard-7 all out once again. Gabe Vincent, Duncan Robinson, Caleb Martin, Nikola Jovic, Haywood Highsmith, Tyler Hero, Dwayne Dedman, and Jamal Cain all listed as questionable. And then we have Max Strus listed as probable at this point in time. So keep an eye out on that Miami team overall. There could be a lot of news and changing parts there overall. Then for the Boston Celtics, we got Robert Williams, Danilo Gallinari, both still out once again. Jaylen Brown listed as questionable, ended up missing the other day, but probably back in the lineup once again tonight. Then we move down to the Washington Wizards, who are without Rui Hachimura and DeLon Wright once again. So no real changes there. For the Brooklyn Nets, they are without Ben Simmons, TJ Warren, Yuta Watanabe. Williams is also out. And then David Duke is questionable, who did miss on Monday. So the biggest one there is Ben Simmons, who takes his place in that starting lineup tonight. Could be Seth Curry, who's been getting more minutes, or maybe even like a Joe Harris. Then we move down to the Milwaukee Bucks, who are without Serge Ibaka, Joe Ingles, and Chris Middleton once again. So no real changes there. Ibaka being out is kind of the newest one. New York Knicks are supposedly all the way healthy at this point in time. Obviously, they are playing on the back-to-back, so we'll see if anything changes in terms of their lineup, in terms of their players throughout the day. Then for the Raptors, Preston Achua and Otto Porter Jr. are both out once again. They did get Pascal Siakam back the last time out. For the New Orleans Pelicans, Brandon Ingram and EJ Liddell both out once again. Larry Nance, CJ McCollum, and Najee Marshall all listed as questionable. We'll see if McCollum's back today or not. That could change a lot of value overall. And then for the Memphis Grizzlies, we got Desmond Bane, Danny Green, Zaire Williams all out once again. Jake LaRavia is listed as doubtful, and Dylan Brooks is listed as questionable. We'll see if he ends up playing tonight or not. I believe it's a thigh issue that he's dealing with, so I would lean on the side that he's probably out tonight. So there could be some value opening up on this Memphis team overall. And then for the Timberwolves, they're without Karl Anthony Towns. He's dealing with a pretty significant calf strain, it sounds like. Expected out 4 to 6 weeks at this point in time. So going to be some value on this team opening up. Taurean Prince out once again, as well as Jordan McLaughlin. Jaden McDaniels is listed as questionable, but probably back from his illness tonight. For the San Antonio Spurs, they're without Jakob Poeltl, which is going to be opening up a big value spot here, and probably Zach Collins today. Jeremy Sohan is also out, and then Wesley is out as well. Then we have Josh Richardson, Romeo Langford, and Keta Bates-Diop. All this is questionable as well. So the Spurs team could have a lot of value on it overall tonight. Then for the Thunder, Mike Muscala is out once again. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is listed as questionable tonight. He is dealing with a little bit of hip injury. If he does not end up playing, Josh Giddey is going to look like an excellent play. If he ends up playing, you could probably end up playing Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or Josh Giddey tonight. For the Houston Rockets, Jayshawn Tate is out once again. For the Denver Nuggets, Colin Gillespie, Jeff Green, Michael Porter Jr. all out once again. Bones Highland listed as questionable. And Zeke Nnaji listed as a game-time decision at this point in time. Then we move down to Chicago Bulls, who are without Lonzo Ball, but we have Derrick Jones Jr., Goran Dragic, Ayo Dosunmu, and Alex Caruso. All this is game-time decisions, but all expected to play tonight. We'll see if that changes throughout the day. Then for the Phoenix Suns, they're without Jay Crowder, Chris Paul, and Cam Johnson once again, so no changes there whatsoever. Then for the Clippers, they're without Paul George, Luke Kennard, Kawhi Leonard, and it still says John Wall is listed as out. We'll see if that changes throughout the day or not, since he did rest yesterday on the back-to-back. Then for the Utah Jazz, Mike Conley, Rudy Gay, Zhang are all out once again, and the Bolmaro list is questionable at this point in time. For the Pacers, Chris Duarte and Daniel Tice are both out once again, so no real changes there. For the Sacramento Kings, Trey Lyles listed as doubtful. He did miss the last time out. I believe it was with an illness. And then there's Monarchy, who's listed as questionable. Don't really know too much about him, but not really in the rotation either way. For the Portland Trailblazers, we got Keon Johnson, Damian Lillard, Gary Payton, all likely out once again tonight, although it is the back-to-back, so just keep an eye out on that. Nazir Little is also listed as questionable tonight. And then we have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, both listed as game-time decisions for the Lakers tonight, but both are probably likely to play at this point in time. But with that being said, that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries in play for tonight's slate. There's definitely going to be a few that we're watching throughout the day. I'll be listing all the injury updates down in the comments as they do become available throughout the day and night. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my core picks for tonight's slate. So we're going to start off at the point guard position with D'Angelo Russell for the Minnesota Timberwolves. $6,400, looking for 32 points on him. That's exactly what he's averaging on the season so far. No Karl Anthony Towns in this game, so he's going to get a little bit more usage, probably a little bit more shot volume as well. Going against the Memphis Grizzlies, not the greatest defensive team in the world, kind of middle of the pack there. And I do like him quite a bit overall today. Got him projected for 33, 34 points tonight. Definitely has some upside for more, as we've seen in the past as well. Then at shooting guard, we're going with Norman Powell. Maybe a little bit of a point chase spot here, but he's $5,300. Looking for 26, 27 points. I'm currently projected for 28 points. He's been on fire as of late, taking a lot of shots, making a lot of shots as well. If he does that once again tonight, he's going to be an excellent value overall. Then at small forward, we're going with Justice Winslow. He's actually $100 cheaper than he was yesterday, so he's $4,600. Only looking for 23 points out of him. Obviously, he's been up over 30 the past 3 games since he's been starting. He's been playing bigger minutes. Currently, I'm projected for 29 tonight. Offers a little bit of upside for more as well. Then at power forward, we're going right back to John Collins. Obviously, we played him 2 days ago, $5,700. Still a little bit of a cheap price tag for him overall. Looking for 28, 29 points. Essentially what he's been averaging on the season. A very favorable matchup tonight against the Orlando Magic. Currently, I'm projected for 30 points. Does offer a little bit of upside for more as well. Then last but not least, at the center position, we're going with Zach Collins. No Jakob Poeltl tonight. Zach Collins probably going to look pretty good. The games that he's actually played 20 minutes this year, he's been pretty good overall. I got him currently projected for 28 points, but if he goes out there, he plays 28, 30 minutes, he's probably going to blow that price tag out of the water, as well as my projection. So, going to look like a solid play overall. Not a bad matchup against the Oklahoma City Thunder as well. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed here, you have $23,500 remaining, just over $7,800 per player. So it does give you some flexibility whether you want to play up for a stud player or a couple higher priced players, or if you want to take a little bit more balanced approach, all those strategies are definitely fine on today's 13-game slate overall. There could be some other value that does open up throughout the day, so just keep an eye out on that. And I will have an updated core prior to lock, probably 20 or 30 minutes if there are any changes as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my core picks over there as well. So on the FanDuel side, at the point guard position, we're going with Reggie Jackson. He's $5,100. We're looking for 25, 26 points at him. Obviously, he doubled that output last night. He had a very strong game. He played 41 minutes. Does he play that much once again tonight? Probably not, but at $5,100, we don't need him to do too much. Currently got him projected for 27, 28 points tonight. If John Wall ends up playing, it hurts him a little bit, but if John Wall doesn't play tonight, Reggie Jackson's still going to look very, very good overall. And then we move down to shooting guard with Colin Sexton. He's also $5,100, looking for 25, 26 points at him. Been playing better as of late. He's been in that starting lineup. He's been playing bigger minutes. Currently, I'm projected for 28 points tonight. Does offer a little bit of upside for more as well. Obviously, there's no Mike Conley in this lineup. Jordan Clarkson struggled the last game. There's Lauri Markkanen in there, but still one of the primary scorers for this Utah Jazz team at this point in time. Then we move down to small forward with Justice Winslow. He's $5,200 once again. Looking for 26 points at him. Currently having projected for 29. Everything I said on the DraftKings side still applies tonight. He's been in that starting lineup. He's playing big minutes, and he's outperformed this price tag in multiple games, so why not play him once again? Then power forward, we're going with Zach Collins. He's $4,500. Looking for 22, 23 points at him. Similar to what I said on DraftKings, no Jakob Poeltl tonight. Collins probably plays 24 minutes. If he gets up to 28, he definitely outperforms his price tag, but at 24 minutes, still got him projected for about 27, 28 points tonight. Pretty favorable matchup against the Oklahoma City Thunder as well. Then last but not least, at the center position, we're going right back to Joseph Nurkic once again. $6,800, looking for 34 points at him, averaging almost 33 on the season. Obviously, there were some games in there with the injury and where he wasn't playing as much and everything else like that. But a pretty favorable matchup against the Lakers tonight. As long as he doesn't get in foul trouble against Anthony Davis, he's going to look pretty good. Currently, I'm projected for 36, 37 points tonight. Definitely has some upside for more, as we've seen as recently as last night. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed here, you have $33,300 remaining, over $8,300 per player remaining. So definitely some flexibility to pay up for a couple studs if that's something you want to do. Or if you want to take a little bit more balanced approach, that's definitely fine on tonight's slate as well. Once again, there could be some value opening up throughout the day, although we do have some pretty good value here to start the day on the FanDuel side overall as well. But with that being said, these are my core 5 picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, November 30th. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's on FanDuel or DraftKings. Also, for your questions, make sure you note whether it's a FanDuel or DraftKings specific question, just so I can best help you as quickly as possible. And then, as always, I'll have my updated core about 20 to 30 minutes prior to lock or as those changes do become available. And I'll be listing all the injury updates as they do become available throughout the day and night as well. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at CoachCraigSports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS. Right now we have NBA DFS and NFL DFS. And then with that being said, if you're a newer current subscriber who is yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS Core Pick videos just like this, Monday through Friday. For the NFL side, trying to get back into the live streams for the Thursday Night Football single game showdown slate. I will hopefully have that out tomorrow at some point, as well as my weekly NFL DFS Core Pick video on Friday. Should be having that back once again this week, as well as my cheat sheets over at WeBetATS.com for both DraftKings and FanDuel. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.